One of the videos that I made last year that I found really fun was one of the book tag videos. So for today's video, I am doing the book buying habits tag. And I will take you along with the questions. And of course, if you want to do this tag yourself, feel free to do so. All of the questions for it are in the description box of this video. So now, without further ado, let's get into questions. Question 1. Where do you buy books? I buy books a little bit everywhere. I buy them secondhand in stores, on flea markets, on Vinted, so an online secondhand platform. I also buy them new on bol.com, sometimes on Amazon if I cannot find them anywhere else. Also in-store at Waterstones or on their website, so I buy my books on all sorts of places. Question 2. Do you ever pre-order books? And if so, do you do this online or in-store? It depends. Mostly online, because then I can keep track of when it's supposed to arrive. However, Waterstones in Brussels has really good customer service, so I often also place my order with them directly in-store. Question 3. On average, how many books do you buy a month? I'm not gonna look back at 2023 for this, but I usually buy a few books a month. And for this year, I'm actually trying to limit myself to maximum 5 books a month. So 2 books from the subscriptions that I will be getting anyways, and then 2 books that I can buy. And also if I have any money left from selling things secondhand, I can also use that towards books. So I think my average is somewhere between 0 and 5 books a month, or somewhere last year it was between 0 and 10 books a month, but I really went ham and bought way too many books last year. Question 4. Do you use your local library? No, I actually do not. I went to my local library a few times. They don't really have a selection of books that I read. So to give you a little bit of insight, I'm from Belgium and I live in the Dutch-speaking part of Belgium, but the books that I read are mainly in English. I simply prefer reading in native languages, and most of the time that's English and not Dutch. Also, I just prefer practicing my English because English isn't my native language, it's Dutch. So yeah, I try to find English books. They do have a few of them in the fantasy category, but they're not books that I'm particularly interested in, or they're books that I've already read. So no, I don't use my local library. And then the second follow-up question was, if so, how many books can/do you borrow at a time? I know when I was younger, the library in the previous town that I used to live was a lot bigger, and I still read books in Dutch there. And then I think the limit was 5 books at a time, or maybe even 10, but I usually borrowed 2 to 3. Next question, what is your opinion on library books? I think libraries are a great alternative for people who want to read more, but maybe don't have the money to buy the books themselves, etc. Or if you want to first read the book and then decide if you want to actually own it. I am a little bit of a book dragon and a little bit of a bookworm. Book dragon is someone who hoards books and a bookworm is someone who reads books. I think I'm a little bit in between the two of them. So yeah, I just love owning books and having them as well. So I don't really have anything negative to say about libraries. It's just the one locally here is not for me. But I really encourage it, especially if you're younger, if you're still discovering what you like, then I think the library is an amazing place to find books. Next question, how do you feel about charity shops and secondhand books? I love them. I personally love charity shops, secondhand shops, flea markets, and buying secondhand books. I think buying books secondhand is the most that I do. Like most of my books that I own, I think are secondhand. And of course, nowadays there's also online platforms on which you can sell secondhand books, and I love using those. So secondhand books don't scare me at all. Of course, it depends on the condition of the book, etc. But you can see that on the pictures or when you hold it. And generally speaking, paying less for a book is a good thing for me. I'm always looking for good deals on books that I will enjoy. And especially like, I have even found special edition books at my local secondhand store in Ghent. So I was really amazed by that. And the prices are like ridiculously low. So that's also a nice plus. Next question. Do you keep your red and TBR pile together or on the same shelf? I keep all of my books together regardless if I've read them or not. So in this bookcase that you can see a tiny part of, this is my special books bookcase. So I have my Empire of the Vampire. On the other side is a Nevernight trilogy that you can't really see. Here I have my special edition Samantha Shannon's, these Hollow Vows, these Twisted Bonds. And at the top is all of my black and red books because aesthetics. So I don't really care if I've read a book or not. I just put them all together. Everything in my main bookshelf is organized alphabetically by writer, so if I'm looking for something, I can very easily find it. Next question. Do you plan to read all the books you own? Yes. Otherwise I wouldn't buy them. Like, I own this house where I live, and I would not want to fill my house with needless things that just take up space. You know, everything I own is because it brings me joy, etc. So I do intend on reading all the books I own. Will I actually do so? Well, maybe not. Maybe after some time I will decide to get rid of some books. Sometimes I have bought a full trilogy, whereas I haven't read anything by the author yet. So if I end up not liking book one, I will get rid of the complete trilogy, etc. So that is something that I want to read all of the books I own, but I'm not sure if I will. And the follow-up question to that is, what do you do with books you own that you feel you'll never read again or felt you didn't enjoy? I will sell them. I sell a lot of books secondhand as well, so I either do it on Vinted, which is an online platform, or I will give them to friends who I think will enjoy them, etc. So books that I don't enjoy don't stay with me. The next question is, have you ever donated books? Yes and no. I don't donate fantasy books or books that are like novels. However, I have already donated children's books, comics that I didn't really enjoy myself, knowledge-based books like cooking books and crafting books and sewing books and stuff. So books that I feel I couldn't really resell online are books that I typically donate. However, fantasy books, I most often am able to either sell them online or give them to friends, which is kind of also donating them, I feel. Next question. Have you ever been on a book buying ban? Well, normally this year would be my book buying ban. However, I transformed it from a book buying ban into a low buy year because I first want to read more of the books that I own before I buy new ones. However, I'm not going to completely ban myself from buying books, mainly because I still have my Illumicrate and FairyLoot subscriptions for now. Once I cancel those, the only books that I will buy are either secondhand books or books that I buy with the money I make off of selling things secondhand. So yeah, that's kind of my book buying ban or low buy for this year. And then the final question is a trick question. Do you feel that you buy too many books? No, because books make me happy and owning books makes me happy and they bring so much joy to my life. If, like worst case, if something happens and I cannot leave my house for a few months, I would have plenty of books to read and to spend my time with. And it just, the thought of it alone makes me happy to know that I have a lot of books that I can read, that I physically have them in a nice bookshelf. It just, whenever I go to my living room, it makes me happy seeing them. So yeah, I don't feel like I own too many books. Not at all. More books are welcome. I just would need an extra bookshelf for them. So this was the book buying habits tag. I thought this was a fun tag to do, and I'm looking forward to doing more tag videos in the future on my channel. If you have any tag recommendations, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And if you also want to do this tag video, all of the questions are in the description box of my video. So feel free to make it and let me know if you've done so. If you want to, feel free to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And of course, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you here for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye!